Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our program this afternoon is very tight, but promises interesting discussions and keynotes. And ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to invite up on stage Nadia Calviño, President of the European Investment Bank, for her keynote speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Nadia Calviño.
Thank you very much. This is my second time up in the podium, and every time I felt like I was a football player coming, into the ground because of the fantastic energy that we're having here today. Well, thank you very much to all of you for being here after lunch. I know it's a challenging moment of the day, and I will try to make it lively so that we continue with the very dynamic discussions that we've had in the morning. You are the stakeholders of the European Investment Bank Group, and I thought it could be useful to share with you some thoughts on possible solutions for the challenges that we're confronted with, and of course, how the European Investment Bank Group, together with all of you, can actually contribute to tackling those challenges. It has already been said this morning by President Charles Michel, by Prime Minister Luc Frieden, by all the different speakers, that we have been through a testing few years. The pandemic, Russia's invasion in Ukraine, the energy price shock that followed, all these events have put Europe under tremendous strain. And that's one of the key messages that you are receiving today. The impact has been very different to what many people have predicted. There has been a very strong recovery after the pandemic, rich in employment, with financial stability, solvent and profitable firms. And this is a remarkable contrast to past crises. We only need to think back and remember what happened after the Great Recession, the sovereign debt crisis. And I think it is a testimony to the efficiency of the EU's institutional evolution over the last decade. The key difference this time has not only been the size, the massive size of public intervention. It was, I think, the remarkable coordination of our actions to face those challenges. Europe really acted as one. Together, we put in place SURE, the instrument to try to support member states protecting jobs, the European Guarantee Fund, where the European Investment Bank has played a key role, the Next Generation EU Investment and Reform Programme. And so we were able to protect jobs, businesses, family, household revenues, the economy in general, to avoid structural scarring and to allow for this very strong recovery of investment. We worked together on common procurement, first to ensure access to vaccines and then to manage gas supplies. We demonstrated again and again our common resolve to support Ukraine in the face of the invasion, and only very recently have we had another example of this commitment and unity. And we have put in place the building blocks to succeed in the net zero transition through the Green Deal, the REPowerEU, and all the different instruments that have been deployed. And this, in a nutshell, is the main conclusion of the investment report that is being published as we speak, and that has been slowly but surely been communicated around the forum. This is our flagship annual publication. It is being published precisely today, and it shows in very clear terms and on the basis of data the fast recovery, the public and corporate investment resilience, the remarkable resilience and their ability to support economic transformation despite the higher energy and borrowing costs. The fact that European firms are strongly committed and pushing ahead on digitalization. Around 70% of companies in Europe use some advanced digital technology. And also the jump in those companies that are investing in energy efficiency. It has increased to 51% of the companies since 2021, when it was 37%. I think this is a remarkable development. So the crisis did not bite as deeply as some were expecting because of the European coordinated response. And this is good news, and this is a lesson for the future. Because as economic growth slows, and we are facing increasingly complex geopolitical challenges, and we are also confronted with the need to fill the gap for the twin green and digital transitions, to face the challenge of rolling back of globalization, unfavorable demographic developments. I was discussing it today with one of the ministers I had the chance to exchange with. The rising social divide in so many of our societies. I was also discussing this with Professor Rodriguez Pose about the social divide within our countries. Well, it is more important than ever that we unite our forces, that we rise to the challenge working together. And the European Investment Bank can and will have an important role in bringing, in catalyzing and finding solutions to these challenges. We obviously can play and are playing a counter-cyclical role, because we are supporting and sustaining investment in the context of higher interest rates and slowing down of demand within the EU and in global terms. Sustained investment will also be crucial to accelerate the transition. Also to step up innovation, the adoption of new technologies, to ensure our physical and economic security, and to strengthen supply chain resilience for critical technologies, raw materials. All these things are essential for Europe's present and future, for our competitiveness and the well-being of European citizens, and they require investments. Not only investments in technology, not only in the development of new techniques and the decarbonization of our industry, we also need to invest in our social infrastructures, education and training, health and affordable housing, especially in weaker regions. There are very strong reasons and very good reasons for us to put a lot of emphasis on cohesion policy and the cohesion angle of our activities within the European Investment Bank group. And we can build on our strengths. We have outstanding technical skills. As I said this morning, I'm only 4 weeks into the European Investment Bank group. I know some colleagues are here, but I'm not saying this because they are watching me. They are really, truly excellent. The technical ability of the bank, the degree of excellence that has been achieved on large infrastructures, on green transition, that is providing a strong reassurance and a catalytic role. Vice President Bigliotti said it. When the European Investment Bank goes into an investment, it really brings so many other investors, public and private investors, along. Another of our key strengths, obviously, is a strong AAA plus, I would say, because of a very strong capital position, the ability to leverage capital to provide innovative financing, catalyzing change. The European Investment Fund, and the CEO is here, is a very creative subsidiary, a very useful tool to try to devise the innovative financing we need to support SMEs to scale up startups. And I think our excellent performance in 2023 provides a very solid basis for the future. The financing signed last year amounted to almost 88 billion euros, which is expected to mobilize around 320 billion euros in investment, and that will reach 400,000 companies, supporting 5.4 million jobs. This is material impact, and this is really a very strong starting point for us when we're looking forward. This investment, 20 billion euros went to European Union small and medium-sized businesses, which are the backbone of our economy. And I really wanted to share this number with you, because sometimes we hear about the flagship projects, we are thinking about very large players in the European market, but actually the group is playing a very important role in supporting SMEs. And our research indicates that 3 years after they have received EIB-backed loans, small and medium-sized businesses, and we have analyzed 97,000 of them, employed 8% more people than comparable firms. So the venture debt we provide to large startups helps them crowd in and also have 2.5 times more debt financing than their peers, and that means that they can grow faster. So that is impact, and those numbers are really, I think, giving us self-confidence in our ability to continue to do more and do it faster going forward. We are the EU Climate Bank. Well over half of the financing of last year, a record 49 billion euros, was deployed for climate action and environmental sustainability, and this is 10 billion euros more than the previous year. We are on track to deliver on our promise of supporting 1 trillion euros in investment in the green transition by the end of the decade, and I don't need to explain how this investment is essential for Europe to eliminate our dependence and ensure cheap, reliable, renewable energy for all of us. We also had a strong activity to support European priorities outside the EU, contributing to global endeavors, for example, the financing of vaccine production facilities in Africa, but also specific investment projects from the metro in Agra, which will be inaugurated in the coming days, to financial support to Ukraine. And all these investments build sustainable, resilient, more prosperous economies throughout the world, but and this is very important too, they are key to a real North-South partnership in a time of geographic stress and polarization, as we heard this morning. So, as I was saying, these excellent results should give us confidence when looking ahead. And I could spend a lot of time sharing these thoughts and deepening these thoughts with you. Let me just mention briefly what we can do regarding the green transition. Europe has consistently been leading this debate, this green transition. We continue to have a technological advantage. The EIB has a widely recognized excellence in this area and a consolidated brand as the Climate Bank. Only in these first 4 weeks of 2024, we already signed or approved groundbreaking deals in green hydrogen, circular battery and solar panel production, decarbonization of heavy industries. The development of Europe's green taxonomy and the green bond market show that the European standards can become global standards, and this is the foundation for a green economy that can be also one which generates good quality jobs and better lives for European citizens. So it is really a no-brainer that we need to seize this opportunity, join our forces and ensure a successful and fair transition that creates good quality jobs today, a better world for future generations, and has also a local impact. So it benefits societies and communities throughout the whole EU. I could be making similar points about digitalization and technological innovation, scaling up of startups in disruptive technologies. I could go and dissect, analyze each and every one of our challenges and get to the same conclusion, which is the European Investment Bank Group can and will do more, and partnering with others is of the essence if we want to succeed. A final word on partnerships. This has been one of my top priorities since I took the job here at the European Investment Bank Group. Closer cooperation and engagement with the European Commission and the European Parliament, and I am very grateful that so many representatives of the other institutions are here, as well as other European institutions. With our shareholders, with the member states, with national and multilateral development banks, with our international partners, with the private sector and civil society. And it is a very deep conviction that working together, we make a difference. We make things happen. And that is why this forum is so important, and we have put so much energy and so much attention to making it a success, because it is an opportunity to talk to each other, to listen to each other, to think together, and to bring together all our capacities to respond to current challenges. And let me close on this positive note, because already what I heard in the forum is giving me a lot of input, insights, and very useful contribution to designing our future strategy, getting it right, and ensuring that when we meet next year, when we look back, we realize how transformative this debate was and how much it helped for us together to tackle Europe's challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Calviño, for having set the tone of this forum. and for your truly inspiring speech. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can cohesion policy boost Europe's competitiveness, or is there a potential trade-off between Europe's competitiveness in a global context and the Union's internal cohesion? And these are